We are back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Playing the Field, your favorite Bachelor podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Field, the sports anchor here at WABC in New York City. Joined now, as always, by our Bachelor insider, Jen Matarese from here at WABC in New York. Gina Sirico, our Bachelor expert, is apparently on vacation this week.
She's living it up.
She's living it up?
Yep.
I don't know who signed off on that because I have yet to miss a podcast.
Well, a premiere.
And a premiere, no less.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, I have missed too many podcasts.
No.
It's good to be back. I was off last week in Utah.
Oh, my God.
Gallivanting 5 national parks in 5 days. There's this great drive you can do that you start in Las Vegas, and you go to Zion, Bryce Canyon, Canyon Reef, Canyonlands, and then you end in Arches. So I did 5 parks in 5 days, hiked like 30 miles.
The pictures were
It
beautiful.
was crazy.
Terrifying.
Terrifying. I did Angels Landing at Zion. Ryan Field ABC, the Instagram, if you want to check out the pics. It was a hairy vacation, and Jen, forever the motherly influence. I get back from this trip and is like, what were you doing? Putting your life at risk on this hike. Think of the podcast. I was the entire time.
What would we do?
What would we do? We'd have to change the name. It couldn't be Playing the Field anymore.
I mean, people have died on this hike.
People have died on this hike.
That could have been you.
Nearly 20 people have died on this hike. So thankfully, that was not me who did that. But we lived to see another day.
You survived.
And we survived. And we lived to see season 6 of Playing the Field. We've been renewed. The powers that be have renewed us for another season, which is great. We're very thankful for that.
Yes.
And we figured this out. It was Joey, Jen, Joan, Grant, Bachelor in Paradise, and now back to the Golden Bachelor with Mel. So
more
season
golden.
6.
Lots of Goldens.
Lots of Goldens. Lots to talk about with Mel's debut here in this episode. And they basically did... And again, you're our Bachelor insider for a reason. I don't recall them having 2 rose ceremonies on opening night. Season premiere. Does that ever happen? I don't remember the last time.
This is like 2 episodes in one because I think the normal Golden episodes are an hour.
They're shorter. Okay, they're shorter. We're
so
used to the 2 hours in the regular Bachelor.
So this 2 hours, 2 rose ceremonies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as they were doing the little champagne toast at the end of night 1, I was like, oh, wow, that was a quick episode. And then all of a sudden it just went right into...
I know.
I was waiting for Jesse to say, this season on The Golden Bachelor.
They need more time. I think we need more time.
I think we need more time. I
would watch it.
I think I would as well. I mean, I think initial reactions were Mel was great. And I know I have a couple of co-hosts who shall not be mentioned who had their opinions about Mr. Mel, which we're going to get to in just a second. But I thought Mel was terrific, and I thought the ladies were wonderful. I thought they were very heartfelt and endearing, and I found myself liking each and every one of them for various reasons. I thought they brought a lot to the table, 23 of them, and I thought the casting for this season was great.
It really was. And I will say the intros were a little subdued. Let's put it that way. There were only really like 2 kind of zany ones, you know, the bomb.
Yeah, the bomb.
And the motorcycle.
Which was like a dirt bike type thing.
Yeah.
I thought the bomb was great, and then it didn't go off. It fizzled.
I like how they had her do it again.
Yeah. Was that like a real bomb squad person that was there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be like a fireworks person or
someone
like that that's approved to do such things. I know we wouldn't be.
They called in the pyrotechnician who was just happened to be on standby and came in and fixed it.
It's like a bottle rocket.
Yeah, it was kind of like a bottle rocket in essence.
Roman candle.
A Roman candle. We did see some fireworks in Mel's first date. We're going to talk about that. But let's address the elephant in the room. And this is something that we have talked about ad nauseum on this podcast. Yeah. I have sided with Mel. I'm just going to let everybody know from the beginning. I have sided with Mel. As well, you shouldn't be. I have sided with Mel. You and Gina were both not anti-Mel.
Yes, I will say we were anti-Mel.
You were anti-Mel?
I was anti-Mel. I will admit it. Okay. And I'm sorry, Mel. Okay.
You were anti-Mel, and everybody knows by now.
He shouldn't have said what he said. And he says that he apologizes. He wishes he did. He didn't really get it. He just didn't think about what he said, I think. And within the first 10 minutes, I had forgiven him.
And I think that was the point. And I think
I was surprised.
I was surprised as well. I got your text and you're like 10 minutes in, I like him. I said, whoa, what is this all about?
Second chances. It's all about the second chances.
It's all about second chances. And there's a lot of lessons to be learned there for all of us in today's day and age about second chances. But what I think they did was, as a production team, I thought they handled that beautifully. let's just address the elephant in the room right off the top. First thing they get into in the show, I thought Mel came off, to your point, very likable, very sincere in his apology, certainly felt bad and felt remorse for what he had said. Now, I will go on record in saying that I didn't realize that he said the part about leave out the hip replacements, I don't want the hip replacements, or something else. Originally, I thought it was just the age comment, that he wanted somebody 45 to 60, I think it was his range. I didn't know the second part where he said, leave out the bad hips and everything else. The wigs, right.
Yeah, it's
I don't want any of that. That was an unnecessary dig. And I think now that I have the full context of what he said, I can understand why a lot of people like you and like Gina were up in arms about this whole thing. But I thought he handled it perfectly. Again, I didn't have a problem with him. I mean, the guy's 66. Let's be honest. He looks 56.
Sure.
The guy looks great.
Oh, fantastic.
For his age, he's living out there in California. He's clearly taking care of himself. So I can understand why he doesn't want to date someone that, can't be active, right, can't live the lifestyle that he wants to live, which is why he wanted someone. I thought 45 might be a little too young. For me, I thought for him, 50 to 58 might be the sweet spot. So I guess I didn't blame him for what he said, but then having him say those other things.
Yeah, a little much. But, we get to know him. We see him with his sons, who are adorable. Oh, my gosh, they're so cute. And, I mean, they're grown-ups. They're basically grown-ups.
Yeah, high school.
Teenagers.
Yeah, right.
But seeing him with his family, hearing him talk about what he went through with his father's death and with his divorce.
Right.
And I hate to say it, I kind of was like, oh, I bet that divorce was his fault. Isn't that a horrible thought? That kind of is mean, right?
Well, I don't want to say it, but I definitely feel like a lot of women were feeling the same thing.
Yeah, because he said the comments he said.
Yeah.
But now that we have more context, and he said it caught him off guard. That's a horrible thing to go through.
He said that she met someone else.
Yeah.
So anybody that has been left for someone else knows the feeling, and it doesn't feel good.
No.
Especially after they were married for so long and clearly in love, like he said. I have a feeling we're going to find out a little bit more about that story as he gets to know the woman that he may or may not end up choosing. Yeah. I think we may get a little more context to what exactly happened with him and his ex-wife. But clearly, he had a lot to process. It's been 5 years now since his divorce. So he's ready to get back out there, ready to do things for him. And, I think this was a great opportunity for him to come on this show and put on a good face. As a guy from Detroit who grew up in the suburbs, love seeing the Motown, love seeing them in downtown Detroit, the Motown music. I love how they set the whole thing up. Mel, of course, a former football player at the University of Michigan. I went to Michigan State. When I met Mel at the ABC Upfronts in the spring, we had a nice little back and forth about the rivalry, which was kind of fun. We're hoping to get him on the show here at some point this season. But I thought, and then he went on to play for the Rams, as they said. So he's got this very interesting background.
And he's a lawyer.
I mean, very smart. He kind of has this debonair way about him. When he comes into the room, he has this commanding presence. I feel like he also has a stature about him,
which kind of gave me the player impression,
right? Because he's built. And why is that?
I don't know. Good looking guy. I was like, hey,
I mean, I've seen your husband. He's jacked. He comes in looking just like that, right?
Sure. He's very handsome, but I think it was because of the comments, and I hate that they clouded everything.
They did.
I thought going into the season, and I kind of appreciate, like you said, they addressed it early. We got it out of the way. Even the women, they were like, all right, he seems like a real, genuine person. He's taking the time to listen to what they say. Maybe not quite at Gary's level, right?
Right.
Gary Turner, the first goal.
Yeah.
He's a little different.
A little bit different.
This is definitely a different vibe.
Definitely a different vibe. I would agree with you on that. But it's a good vibe, and I think it's a healthy vibe. I think everybody is there. It's a fun vibe. Everybody's there for the right reasons. So far. Which takes us to night one, and we said we wanted to hear from Mel. Turns out Mel was on GMA discussing the season premiere. GMA, for those of you that aren't familiar with acronyms, is Good Morning America. Our show here at ABC, and he was on the show with Sam Champion and Lara Spencer, talking about his journey, and he had this to say about the women he met on night one.
You also said that if you'd met these women independently of the show, that you could have fallen in love with any of them, right? So was it super hard with that feeling to kind of say goodbye, to give that rose and then say goodbye?
Yeah, it was, but you try to get the connection early on in the energy and the frequency of who the person is. So it's quick and it's compressed, so you have to make decisions in real time. Right?
Can you just give us like a little secret wink if you found love?
Everybody's going like, hey, wink, or give me two, right?
Two blinks if you did, one blink if you didn't.
Well, you never know.
Oh, he did 2 blinks.
You got to watch it for the women. They're fantastic.
So the double wink from Mel. Do you take anything into that? And Lara seemed to?
Yeah, I really hope he found somebody.
I think he did.
I hope so. I mean, he seems happy. He seems jovial in his interview.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm hoping that means, at least right now, they're happy. Hopefully there's no breakups by the time we get to the end of this.
Let's hope not. It was funny, too, like watching him at the beginning of the episode, by the time he got to the end and kind of seeing him now. His comfort level with being in front of the camera, like he seemed a little nervous in the beginning, but even as the episode unfolded, you could see him kind of feeling more comfortable in his own skin. You know what I mean? And I thought that was kind of an interesting plot development in this first episode. And now you see him now, and he's like, comfortable in front of the cameras and very relaxed in his interview at GMA. But as he spoke about night one, you talked about there was only 2 women that came out that really kind of made a big impression in terms of their entrance. I also thought it was interesting that, was this the first rose ceremony that we've ever seen happen with the sunrise? I mean, I feel like we've seen maybe some...
It's definitely happened before.
But it almost seemed like it was the middle of the day. It wasn't like the sun had just come up. It was like an 11 a.m.
It took a long time. This seemed to take longer than maybe normal.
Absolutely.
Or at least they let us see that it took that long this time around. But for a golden cast, they're up all night.
All night.
They're there.
They showed a couple of the women yawning.
Yeah.
And the one woman said she was basically sleeping with her eyes open.
I think someone else was like, what would you give for a cup of coffee?
Yeah, right. Like, why didn't they give him coffee? I mean, come on now.
I don't know.
Well, they probably wanted to keep the champagne flowing and keep all of the keep everybody
loose. At a certain point, that puts you to sleep.
Yeah, we don't need anybody sobering up. That's what they were thinking.
Yeah.
But so we had the rose ceremony on night one, where, the first impression rose I thought was going to go to, and it's funny, we are in episode 1 and 2 when we have our cheat sheets here.
Oh, yes.
Of all the ladies.
And I printed them by myself.
She did print them. Congratulations to Jen. Golf clap for printing out some nice color photos of the 23 women. So much like the audience, we're kind of getting used to these women and getting acclimated, getting to know them, if you will. So Jerry got the first impression rose, and I actually thought it was going to be Cindy because Cinderella.
Yes, he liked her.
Right off the bat. And he said, we can just wrap this up right now. He said that right off the bat. And I said,
wouldn't that be something if he picks her?
I think he might.
She's an early favorite for me.
She's an early favorite, absolutely. And we see in the trailer for the rest of the season, she's very much involved in the trailer for the rest of the season, which leads you to believe that this goes, she lasts deep into the rose ceremonies and makes it maybe all the way to the end. But Jerry gets the first impression rose. And one of my favorite parts was when Jesse brought the rose in, and the women are like, what's that? And then it took one woman to go, oh, that's the first impression rose.
Somebody's a fan.
Yeah, I was like, has nobody else seen the show before?
You have to do your homework before you go on the show.
I agree with you 100%.
If you're cast on the show, are you watching some seasons?
I'm going all the way back to the first season and watching that. And I don't mean the Golden Bachelor. I'm going all the way back to season 1 of The Bachelor before HGTV and everything else. So it's all fuzzy and stuff. I'm going back to watch all the episodes. But yeah, I thought he had some interesting choices. Night 1, he sent home 6 women, all told, got it down to 17 right off the bat. But I don't know. I mean, my favorites right now, I think, are Cindy. I like Jerry a lot.
Yep.
I was surprised he sent Carla home on night 2. I really liked Carla. I thought they had a little something. So how about you? Who are your early favorites thus far?
Peg, I feel like, is trying.
Peg? He has his eye on Peg.
But they seem like when she was asking him, "Are you retired?" and he was like, "No, I'm never retiring." And that didn't seem. She's like, "Well, I want to go have fun." He said, and he tried to reassure that he does want to have fun. He'll cut back his work schedule.
Right.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they align quite right. But
I know you like Cheryl.
I love
He
Cheryl.
had the first one-on-one date with Cheryl.
Can we talk about that situation?
And I love how, she basically admitted she grew up a tomboy. And then she gets the princess date, kind of what we saw in Grant's season when they were in Scotland.
Yes.
I forget who.
Yeah.
Wait, that was who he ended up picking.
Yeah,
Juliana ended up
yeah.
getting the princess date. So it was very similar to that, not in a castle, but she's got all these dresses. And she was like, oh, my gosh, I've never worn anything
I like that
like
the
this.
other women could help her get ready.
Oh, that
too.
was the best
very
part.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was so cool. Instead of the evil stepsisters, it was almost like having family there.
Yeah. They were all really sweet.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. And I thought they had a great date. And I think he likes her a lot.
The story about how her son got kidnapped by her ex-husband.
That is crazy.
And then, okay, another thing. When she told him that her ex had passed away, didn't he seem a bit relieved?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
I would be too. Listen. Yeah, it's like every guy, when you said every woman was thinking that it was his fault that they got divorced, every guy was thinking, all right, thank God I don't have to deal with baby daddy and all the drama that comes along with that.
I mean,
especially because the guy kidnapped her son.
Yeah, I mean, she seems very forgiving, and I'm glad they were able to work things out for the betterment of their adult child now.
Not to step on you, but I also think that the fact that he passed away 12 years ago, I think she's kind of...
Yeah, that's true.
Put that in
some distance in time.
Yes. Yeah. So she's ready to move on and find love. Mel is now moved on from his ex-wife and ready to find love. So I think the timing is great for all of them. I love the group date. Paula Abdul. She looks great. Obviously of American Idol fame, now on ABC. We love Paula Abdul, and I was trying to think, I'm like, God, what were her two songs?
The ones they...
Yeah, and then they picked the two songs. Straight Up and Opposites Attract.
Yeah.
Which had like Chester the cheetah, I feel like in the video back.
Cat.
Yeah, like a cartoon cat.
They go up the stairs.
Back in the day. Yeah.
I loved that
was
video
a nice
as a kid.
Yeah, so did I. Are we showing our age right now? I think we might be. For the record, we are only in our mid-20s, just so we're clear on that. But yeah, Chester the cheetah was in kind of like Chester the cheetah in that video, but I love they did the choreographed cheerleading, and
Group 2 was way better.
Group 2 was way better.
So good choice by the judges.
Yes. Mel's GBs, Mel's Golden Bachelorettes.
Yeah.
They ended up getting their own private time with Mel, and then who got the rose from that? Oh, it was Cindy. Cindy got the rose.
And I loved that he let her see a message from her daughter.
Yes, that was very cool how they did that.
Okay, I was like planning in my head, what if they did a one-on-one date the next week and she gets to go see her daughter?
Yeah, because she's in Hollywood, right?
It's right there. I wonder if they work that out.
I have a feeling they might, because how did they get her on FaceTime and know that she was there anyway? Yeah. So maybe that would be a cool way to do it. And maybe Mel could bring along one of his sons, and they could have their own little group date. Mm-hmm. That'd be kind of cool.
And she was also the one that said that her daughter's getting married in Italy, and that she can only bring a date if she's engaged.
Yeah, right.
So that could work out.
I have a feeling we might see them in Italy when this is all said and done. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah. So then we get to the pool party. And I know you have a lot of thoughts about this because of our good friend, the yoga instructor, Miss Nicole, she's from Miami Beach, Florida, 64 years old, the yoga instructor. Beautiful, who we should point out, every time she saw Mel, kissed him on the lips before even the pool party happened. Like she
reminds me of one of those monkeys you get at a carnival with the little...
The symbols?
The hands?
Yeah.
No. The Velcro hands that you put around your neck. You see people walking around? Because I feel like Mel just constantly has this woman around his neck. He's wearing her like a necklace.
That's actually a perfect analogy.
Oh, my goodness. I was like, girl, give him some space.
Yeah.
But you have to go for what you want, right?
Yes, indeed.
You have to give that a try. But I think making out in the middle of the pool with all the other women around is just sort of icky. Like, take him in a corner I'm not saying don't do it, but just kind of like maybe like steal them away.
I think we can all agree that these women and men during these tapings of The Bachelor, Bachelorette Goldens are not sober. Can we all agree on that while this is happening?
That is
not that is any excuse for their behavior, but you almost
use it as an excuse.
Yeah, I know you would. And let's be honest. Let's be honest. You have used that as an excuse before. So you throw your inhibitions to the wind, right?
Sure.
So she's in the pool. They're in L.A. The sun is out. So she's just like, oh my God, there's this hot guy. She's 64. She's riled up and ready to go, and basically has been throwing herself at Mel. But I agree, it was in poor taste, especially because the person I felt the worst for was Cindy, who clearly likes him. They just had that great moment.
Yeah.
They went back for 4 or 5 kisses or 4 kisses.
Yeah.
They showed them kind of making out off to the side privately. Yes.
In good taste.
Off
Thank
to
you
the
for
side
keeping it
in
classy,
good taste. We had a feeling Miss Cinderella was going to keep it classy. But yeah, I mean, I thought they could have handled that better. And even Mel said, hey, maybe we should relax a little bit. He's trying to like.
Are you making him uncomfortable? You know?
And it kind of puts him in a tough spot because you don't want to come off like a jerk. Like,
he likes her.
Hey, get off me. He does like her. Clearly, she survived the first 2 rose ceremonies. She's one of the final 13 people. So
is she our villain?
I don't know if she's our villain, but she could be one who kind of stirs it up. I guess we could call her the villain.
Early contender.
And you know what? An early contender. And I guess they did show in the trailer her saying something like, I'm here to fight for my guy. Like, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Something along those lines.
She's the I'm not here to make friends.
She's the I'm not here to make friends person, which we seem to have 1 or 2 of those every season. And I think there's a level of, I can see where someone is coming from by saying that, because you're there to find love. You're there to find your man. You're not there to, sit here and make friends with the women. But a lot of these women are going to be friends afterwards, and the guys are, as we've seen in other seasons. So she is obviously one to watch in terms of mixing it up. Any other impressions from the trailer for the rest of the season?
I mean, holding that ring, he was holding a big old ring on
that. Was a big ring. And
it's like a finale location.
Yeah, and one of the women has left, but then he thought she left, and then Jesse's like, well, I know for a fact she's still here. So I don't know.
I don't know who that is or what
it could be
about.
Susie from Bachelor in Paradise. Mel calls her. Somehow
like,
dials the wrong number. Guys, please stop calling me when I'm no longer here.
Anytime she goes to an airport, someone calls her.
Exactly.
Do you want to come on our show?
Yeah, for sure. Well, listen, I think this season, we can all agree, looks great. We are very excited to watch Mel's journey unfold. We're hoping to have him on the podcast here real soon.
And the top 3?
Do I have a top 3? Yeah, I think it's Jerry, Cheryl, and Cindy are my top 3.
And maybe Nicole is a distant fourth there.
He likes Nicole. She's a little spunky. Yeah,
as long as she can add a little chill to herself.
And I think Cheryl is someone that can keep him young. Nicole is someone that can keep him young. Mel has like this, I feel like a youthful way about him and how he wants to live. And I think that's who he's looking for in a mate. And we're going to see it all unfold together. That is the best part. And if you like our podcast, what do you need to do?
Follow us.
Like and follow us. We're hoping to have Gina back next week.
Yes.
Was this like a month-long vacation?
She had a friend in from
She had a friend? Okay.
So she's
we'll allow it. We're hoping to have Gina back next week. We have a feeling we will.
She has thoughts.
Oh, Gina always has thoughts. And we know you have thoughts as well. Leave some comments for us in the comments section. We love hearing from our viewers and our listeners. We appreciate the support as always. For Jen, I'm Ryan. This is Playing the Field. We will see you next time.